Sorry, cover photo op, my bad. How you doing, Smith? Awake, excellent. It's good to see all of you. First of all, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction by Dean Russell, for presiding over this ceremony, and most importantly, for your years of service to the Smith School. We really appreciate it. And to the entire Smith community, congratulations. Because the accomplishments that we celebrate here tonight are as much yours as they are ours. It's a wonderful evening here in the Comcast Center, and I want to first acknowledge the Smith faculty, staff, and administration here at the Smith School. To those of you who supported us from our first days of getting lost in Van Munching Hall, to now that we proudly wear the caps and gowns here in Comcast, thank you for showing us the way. And to the parents, families, friends, and supporters, to those of you whose belief in us began before we even enrolled at Smith, for some of you before we could even say the word college, thank you so much for your unconditional love, your undying support, and for letting us bring laundry home on the weekends. We sincerely appreciate it all. And all of you here are here to witness what I can promise is one of the finest classes of seniors to graduate from this Robert H. Smith School of Business. So to all of you, I say thank you, and to all of you, I say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You know, I heard once that the collective attention span of an audience lasts roughly a minute. And considering that this is a college graduation ceremony, I know that the real estimate's probably around 10 seconds. So since I know that I've well exceeded that time, I'm going to try and salvage the last bits of your attention with a very, very simple message. And that's to you, the Smith graduating class of 2013. Congratulations. Now let's go fail. And yeah, I was hoping for the awkward silence, so thank you very much for participating. Because you're all wondering, and quite understandably so, that why on today of all days would I even think to mention the word failure? After all, today's ceremony is a celebration of our success, not the opposite. And what's more is that the Smith School has clearly prepared us for success, evidenced by the many graduates here whose success itself will inevitably shape our future. So then why do I bother mention failure? It's a great question. And it's one I hope you don't mind I'm going to answer with one of my own. Why is failure necessarily the opposite of success? And I think there's a simple answer. Because for as long as we can remember, we've been surrounded by this discouraging dichotomy. Right? We either win or we lose. We either hit or we miss. We either succeed or we fail. My friends, I think we've only been told part of the truth. Because I don't think success and failure are two opposites of the same spectrum, but just 2 points on the same learning curve. And to prove that, let's rewind the clock for a moment. Think back to the first time that you lifted musical instruments. Right? Wasn't it the sound of the first few notes? The sound that our parents may have called cruel and unusual punishment? The same sound that made the first correct note that much more beautiful? And how about when we learned to ride our first bikes? Wasn't it the first few falls, the cuts and bruises, which made that first flawless ride seem that much more of an accomplishment? Yeah, these failures may have stung initially, but they soon accelerated our learning on the path to success, and the same held true here at Smith. Because when a professor would ask us a question in class, think about it, weren't the questions that we embarrassingly answered incorrectly in front of everyone else the same questions that we could answer perfectly on the exam? The same questions that, even more impressively, we can probably still answer today. Out of all of the resumes that we've had reviewed, weren't the ones that were rejected, the ones that were covered in red ink, the same ones that may have contributed most to our final product, the same ones that may have even landed us the job and the internship we're about to pursue in a few weeks? And my fellow Terps, isn't the pizza from Domino's that much more delicious because of the slice from Ratsy's we had the night before? these mistakes, these failures, yeah, even the last one, go to show that failure doesn't stifle success, it catalyzes learning. And so because of that, I urge us to think differently. I urge us, and not just you, collectively, everyone here, not just to try and succeed, but actively to try and to fail. Because if we can learn anything from our experiences, it's that while failure may not bring us immediate satisfaction, it isn't a barrier to succeeding. It's just a means to achieving, and more importantly, appreciating success. Now, a thought crosses my mind as I look at you now, and that same thought crossed my mind when I heard I had the opportunity to speak to you today. And that's what gives me the right to stand here and lecture you like some professor. I'm by no means any more intelligent or accomplished than any of the graduates sitting here, so what gives me the right? Absolutely nothing. Because we all have so much more room to succeed. But what few people will tell us is that we all have so much more room to fail. And we will. Time and time and time again. In these next few weeks, months, and years of our lives, we will fail. And my message to you is simple. Let us embrace the failures. Let's use our lessons at Smith. Let's understand those failures. And then when the moment is right, let's use that understanding. We'll seize the success which is rightfully ours with more ease and with more satisfaction. And if we do that, I'll bet my cap and gown that we can collectively prove that failure is not the opposite of success, my friends. It is just a prerequisite. Before I conclude today, I want to make a confession, and my close friends will definitely agree with this. I have a tendency to get a little dramatic and get a little bold when I'm speaking, and I confess that very proudly. And I had to today because I realized that I haven't just asked us to break through our personal comfort zones. No, I've asked us to defy human nature itself. And so for that, you may call me an unrealistic idealist. You may call me a foolish optimist. And my friends, you may even say that I'm a dreamer. But look at us. Look at us and you will know that I am not the only one. Thank you, the best of lucks, and congratulations, class of 2013.